Hey everyone, you can hear me. We're just starting off in 1 minute. Oh, am I not sharing my screen? Okay. All right. Yeah. Hello everyone who's joined already. Just give us 2 minutes and let the others join as well, and we'll kick off this presentation. See you. All right, I think we can start. Welcome everyone who's joined to our presentation on how AI can supercharge knowledge management for uh, SMEs and other organizations. Let me just first introduce Omdena as a company before we start. So Omdena is the world's largest AI development network with more than 20,000 AI professionals across 80 countries who have worked on 650 real-world solutions and counting. Our core philosophy is emphasizing the human element of AI. We think that that humans should be at the center of AI, and that AI should be built for the people and by the people. And with that philosophy, we work on three different levels as part of our organization. So we start with local hubs. That's our AI hub set up in more than 80 countries around the world, where we educate people, upskill them in AI, and basically have them participate in local AI projects that can have positive change. And above that, we have our top talent projects, where the top talents from our AI network get to work on innovation challenges, coming up with new and innovative solutions to the world's problems. And on top of it all, we have Omdena's product engineering, where we design custom AI solutions for any company that wants SMEs, organizations, NGOs. We work with them, we take in their problem statement, and we design something that can fix that with AI. And we have our grassroots AI program, where we collaborate with ministries and governments to set up AI infrastructure and AI education in their country, so that they have a better standing when it comes to adopting the future of technology as we know it. So let me introduce Veronica. Veronica is Omdena's Vice President of Business Development, and she leads our business hubs in more than 20 countries and is an expert at AI strategy. So I'll hand it over to you, Veronica, and just tell us why we're doing this workshop.
Yeah, great. Great to have you guys. I'm really excited about this topic. I'm Veronica, and I'm day-to-day basis. I'm just getting to know companies, their problems, how they spend their time. And this case is actually particularly important to me because it came out from the need that was a person very close to me was struggling with knowledge management in their company. And it was crazy to me to know that there are so many manual processes, how much time they spend daily on retrieving the information, or even how much time is wasted between the people. So it's not only one person that is spending that time on the knowledge management, but actually a lot of people together, they waste their time together. And then there's also the part where they get frustrated. So even when they stop to look for the information, they actually don't have energy anymore. So yeah, you can really think, looking back at the last week, how much time you spend on it. It's really crazy when we think about it. And here we have some data behind, because we are a data company. So we have really, really good information how many hours people in the research are shown to spend for the data retrieval, for like really small things. They take too much time in the common sense in the current age, where we actually use so much AI, but still people search stuff very manually in the folders that are managed by the logic of the person that was in the company for 20 years. So yeah, it's funny, but it's not funny. That's why we are here today, and we are supported by a really, really great person, really, really expert person. And yeah, to finish up, yeah, we can get back to that. To finish up my part, I just want to kick off with that seed in your mind, how much time you would have more when you would spend less time on manual work. Where would you put that time? How would you enjoy spending your time? And actually, maybe how much more money you would make? These are some key questions to start with. And now I'm handling the voice to our expert, Dima Levin. And he has been in many companies. He has gained a lot of knowledge. He has helped a lot of companies from going from manual to autopilot. And now they are taking the fruits of it. And now we wanted to share with a new public the opportunities that are there, and we can really trust his knowledge, his perspective. There will be some technical terms, but don't worry, everything will be very accessible, as knowledge should be.
Mitra, can you just unmute yourself?
Oh, yeah. Another thing when you have to press, manual button. Sorry. Thank you very much, Veronica. Thank you very much, Kunal, for having me here. Thank you, Omdena, for having this workshop. I'm happy to be the guest. And I'm happy to share how to overcome this very frustrating problem as searching information on daily basis. I'm more than sure that each of us who is here right now and everyone in the world struggling on daily basis by finding the simple answers to simple questions in the knowledge dumps, on the lots of the unstructured, semi-structured knowledge storage that has not been maintained, that you don't know how to find. We will talk about it in a moment. So let's start with the knowledge management process, what it is and how it looks. So basically speaking, you can see on the slide right now that to do the whole knowledge management, we already have to follow lots of steps to enable us to solve just one simple task: how to use the document that you created effectively when you need it and the moment you need it, without spending 3.6 hours, Veronica. Oh my God. I've seen on the side, it's crazy amount of time to spend on it. So let's take a look how to make this process much easier with help of AI. That's why we are here, yeah? Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, thank you. So the whole, one of the key things in the information is accessibility. It's what, like I was naming it in the different with the different synonyms, but basically speaking, you need to access the information, the right information, in the moment when you need it. Because in our era of TikTok, all of us are struggling with the things when we need to spend more time on finding, something, this exact step-by-step instruction, how to take a day off, as an example. So accessibility of the information is the thing that right now AI companies and all AI companies trying to solve as the service for other companies that have the knowledge as it is as the crucial thing for keeping their business running. What is the information? Basically, we're not speaking only about, let's say, the documents, the legal part, but it's everything that can be used externally by yourself. I mean, external out of your head when you're, when you need to look through the processes or to remember this exact number about your specific product or something. This is when you refer to the knowledge. So let's take a look how this process can be improved. Yeah, thank you. So accessing the information, traditional way and AI, how to make it. So in the traditional manner, we need to, first of all, when we have, I think the presentation disappeared. Yeah, no worries. While you're searching for it, I can proceed. So as soon as you have the task that you have to make as the employees, the business owners, the business leader, as the father, as the person, the first thing that you're having in your head is what information will help me to make this task good. So the whole frustration starts not only with the, not only with the trying to find on Confluence this exact document, but with the idea on which document will help you in this moment do this task successfully. So you firstly invest your computational resources and energy for understanding, let's say, how to extract keywords out of the task that you have right now to find this document. For this purpose, we are using like tags on Obsidian, or like some other metadata to make it happen. But still, okay, you find the right words to find this, I don't know, template or like product information for product 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next, you start to search it. Where is it? In my Confluence, on my Google Drive, in the Slack messages from my colleague. I have like lots of sources that I can go and search. Afterwards, I not only can, search for the sources, I can also reach out to colleagues, reach out to other people and say, okay, maybe you know how to make, like, I don't know, how, if I want to write a post for LinkedIn, what are the rules for this? Like, how to make it better, whatever. So I will go to marketing department and say, guys, help me. And they will go and searching for information. After I get all this information, I have to read it. I have to understand it. Super important thing. And only afterwards, I will be able to act based on this info. Welcome to the AI era. You have to tell right now with the proper knowledge bots inside your company or like external knowledge bots, whatever, you just need to type in your question. Better, of course, to even to show like what you need for it to improve. But still, type in your question, make the AI to follow all the steps that we discussed previously by itself, understanding what is the semantic meaning, what type of let's say, keywords can help to solve this, how to find in different sources these pieces of information to make this task happen, and let the AI just by answering you, provide you with not only the exact pieces of knowledge that you're looking for, but also the sources for this knowledge that you easily can, look and verify it by yourself. So let's move forward. the power of knowledge bots. Why is it cool? Why is it important? Because knowledge bots understands us. Knowledge bots understand us in our language. They understand you in the moment when you typed in the question. So technically, it works with the help of vectors. They transform this words, then go to the vector database or whatever, and then searching for the vectors of the similar meaning of the info. So, you know, technical part, but basically speaking, they understand the meaning of your request, go to the data sources and find the best fitting things. Because like approximate nearest neighbors, you know, mostly used methodology, but we will not cover the super technical parts during this workshop. So the knowledge bots extract relevant information based on from your knowledge, based on your request, reducing the whole time you spend on searching and reading. Also, it's important to understand that we can use the knowledge bots not only for internal purpose, not only when you're asking for, hey, how to take the PTO, but also as an external. I will show in the end of my part today that we can optimize with help of the AI knowledge bot the whole sales process for the company. Stay with us. So also what is cool is that we not only the knowledge bot that are like internal and external, that not only understands how to retrieve the information presented and to reason over this information, but also they can remember your past interactions. They can remember your metadata. If like, let's say I have already have my information that my name is Dima Levin and I'm chatting with the chatbot inside my company, it will know that my name is Dima. And when I'm referring to one of my colleagues, I also will have the information about them straight away without any other specifications. You know, and it can be like if you are building the chatbot, if you're having, I know, veterinarian clinic, you know, vet clinic, your customer once mentioned that they have cat. Next time when they go to the chatbot and say, hey, I have the problems with my pet, the chatbot will understand that they are talking about the cat itself. So, moreover, the coolest part of the chatbot that they can do actions, not only present you with information, but do the actions themselves. By this, I mean they can help you to schedule the call or schedule it for you. They can send the email. They can take the data about the product leading you from the sales process and then even schedule the delivery for your address and lots of different cool stuff. So let's move forward. How to implement this wonderful technology as the knowledge bot? Cool question. Let's take the answer. Look at the answer. So there are two options. One, ready to use LLM. B, custom LLM. So when we are talking about ready to use LLM, it's like GPT. You can go out straight out to the, let's say, playground.openai.com and create your agent, put their prompt, add knowledge into pre-installed database, write function calling it if it is needed, like, I don't know, give the API for your Calendly, grab the API key for this assistant and input it into the widget on your website. Bam, you have the bot that schedules appointment according to your schedule on your website straight away. With the custom LLM, the process looks harder, and it is hard. We will talk the difference from the business perspective on the next stages. But right now, how the process with the custom LLM looks like. First, you have to choose the base model, like should it be Llama, should it be Mistral, should it be any other, like, I don't know, fine-tuned model, or whatever. Then you have find and create the data set to fine-tune your model if you want to make it, you know, as personalized as possible. And this is cool that you can make it with the custom LLM. The second thing is the fine-tune itself. Then choose the vector database. You know, we have to choose where to store your info. Then create RAG. This is the thing when you are like how to find the piece of knowledge that you're looking for and how to retrieve it, how to verify these pieces of knowledge and put it into the for the user to make it actionable and relevant. Then you have to create the backend, deploy this backend, and only afterwards you will have, after like API keys, API management, you will have the API key that you can input to the front end. So why to choose custom LLM? Why to create the custom LLM in this case? And who needs ready to be used LLM out of the box and who custom LLM? Let's take a look. So as the perfect example of the out-of-the-box, ready-to-be-used LLM, we can choose the GPT, like the regular GPT. So this is the, if you don't know, you're on this webinar. I hope you're fine. So GPT is the LLM, create large language model from OpenAI that is like one of the best from the perspective of reasoning. It works cool. Go and test with chatopenai.com if you want to, or create one in the playground. So it's much easier to implement because you like out of the box, you can input the, the API key, make the prompt, and bam, it's ready to be used. It's more suitable for general use cases where accuracy is less important. Like, why not? It has database and RAG inside the box, so you don't need to think about what is vector database, how to use RAG, etc. You just need, to upload the file. Bam, this is it. But there is no ownership over this RAG, and this is important for the big companies who has like lots of the knowledge, like around 5,000 PDF pages. How to understand which particular piece of information out of this 5,000 pages is relevant for the current query. There are lots of, just go and Google what types of RAG there are, like graph RAG, multi-agent RAG, etc. Lots of them. You need to understand how to avoid distractors inside your context field. Sorry for technical part, but like in human language, LLM is super straightforward. If you in your information will have, instead of the chicken, the hammer, and your query is how to cook a soup, and you extract the hammer, the LLM will tell you the recipe of the soup with hammer, not with the chicken, and it's not something that we're looking for. So we have to clear the context field from distractors. That's why it's important to have ownership over the RAG. So information goes outside of your organization. Lots of companies are unable to use the GPT, like if you're working with the sensitive data, if you're like super according to the GDPR stuff, if you are in the medical area or wherever where sensitive data is, it's super, it's like you cannot use it. So you cannot benefit out of it, and you have to spend 4 hours a day for looking for information. No, you haven't. We'll take a look at on the other slide how to make it happen. So can you return for the second, for the previous one, Kunal? Sorry. It's also highly dependent on the external service provider, the GPT itself. So if they have the blackout, your LLM is not working, your services is not working. If you build the product out of it and they went to blackout, this is like your problems becomes their problems become yours. Also, you are dependent on their policies. If they decide tomorrow, some like GPT, like OpenAI decide tomorrow that is forbidden to talk about flowers with the GPT itself, so all your flower company business, will go down because there's something that started to be, for some reason, be forbidden to use. So, and also it's expensive. It's much more expensive, to talk with the external services to pay for tokens than to have your own custom LLM. So let's take a look on the custom LLM side. Why is it cool? Why is it better? Why is it better for lots of the cases? Because they are fine-tuned on your data. They can be fine-tuned on your specific use case. Let's imagine you are a procurement company. Procurement processes in different big companies are different. Only the one similar thing as the procurement word in the name of the department. The process is completely different. So if you want to build your procurement LLM that will help you to analyze, I don't know, against different criteria, the different vendors for the task, or like to reach out to the external vendors, etc., it's always better to teach the LLM itself the best case scenarios for it, based on your particular experience, to have it as good as possible out of the box. Then it can be deployed in the intranet, enabling internal security. So you just, put the LLM as the application, put it on your internal server, lock it, with the seven logs, and bam, it still runs. So no information goes outside. This is important for lots of us. In the industrial sphere, I remember, it's like companies that are not able, even to use Google Translate in some scenarios, because like, whoa, why not? So no dependency with external policies. If someone will say that telling flowers is bad, your flower business will not go down. This is the cool stuff with the custom LLM, is that it will become your intellectual property. And moreover, while having it as the intellectual property fine-tuned on your use cases, you can transform your fine-tuned custom LLM into your revenue stream. Like if I am, as the cool procurement company, built a custom LLM that knows how to do all processes by itself, I can not only benefit from it, I can create a product out of it, go to my competitors and say, hey guys, you want also to be successful? Or to go other countries, and say, hey guys, this works in England. You want to use it in USA? I will give it to you so you can use it out of the box, and you become the service provider for this. So let's move forward. Bam, bonus. Cheat technique, how to boost your knowledge base. There are three main problems with all LLMs in every company around the world. First, usage related costs. So if we're talking about even the custom LLM, you have to run it continuously on your multiple GPUs. Costs. Second, hallucinations. So sometimes the output is unpredictable. The third, and this connected to the hallucinations, that all the AI models are stochastic. We cannot every time when we are talking about the AI, it's like the quantum physics. We cannot tell that it will 100% will be like this. There is always a probability of choosing the next token. Sorry for this stuff, but like, let's say if I'm 100 million times will ask, Mary has a little what? I still will have like 1% out of it that it will not be the lamp in this case. So how to solve this all three problems with the one quick trick, the middle layer concept. The whole stuff is TLDR, super easy. You build the middle layer with the NLP. Don't be afraid of these three letters. NLP is natural language processing. It's like let's say almost father, the close relative to LLM. Why? It's also the algorithm that can understand the meaning of the words, but without extensive computational power as LLMs. So you build LLM, you put the middle layer powered by NLP, that is connected to the FAQ with the questions answers database. So every time when you get the query, the first thing that is happening is that NLP looks at this question and goes to the FAQ and looks, is there a response for this question? If not, it proceed with it to the LLM itself, and then the process runs. If yes, it just gives you the out-of-the-box answer, the answer that is approved in the form that is approved there, and gives it back to you. Like if you want to take PTO, we don't need to spend the tokens usage for generating every time similar 5 steps, whatever. You just need to take this document and give it to the user. So by having this whole stuff, we A, reduce usage, B, enable deterministic responses, and C, we make the whole answering process x2, x3 times faster, because we don't have this long process around the LLM, RAG, vector database, transforming here, there, coding and coding. No. This is the question, this is FAQ, I take it, bring it back to you, use it. So the whole cool stuff. You may be afraid that I don't have FAQ for these purposes. No worries. The LLM itself can create the FAQ for you. So you can build this middle layer after the knowledge boat build. So you just have to collect the answers, the question answer pairs. And then at the moment when the time comes, you just take this verified by yourself question answer pairs and put it on the FAQ. And as soon as new question answer pair arrives, you again take it and put it in the FAQ, making the whole process faster, cheaper, predictable. That was the bonus. And now let's look at the use cases of the knowledge bot from the real life. I prepared for you two things. First is the usage of the internal knowledge bot. Second is the external. Let's start with the internal one. The internal one, knowledge bot, HR help desk. So hundreds employees generates a month like 500 different questions around the processes inside the company, like all HR related. So previously, all these requests went to the HR department. For each query, for each like question, like, hey, Dima, how to take the time off? This Dima, in our example, needs to by themselves, go and take the prepared piece of knowledge, write it down, or say, hey, go and look at by yourself and Confluence in our HR space, whatever. So anyway, in any scenario, it's like 10 minutes average, for answering the simplest question. And of course, you are having, can you imagine to work when you're working on the task and you have constant, pinging, like how to take the PTO, how to take the sick leave, etc., etc. So it's crazy. And it's not only, it impacts your direct working time, but also refocuses you constantly. So by implementing the knowledge chatbot for these processes, after the implementation, we saw that almost 90% of queries that previously went directly to HR being solved by the chatbot itself. And it ended in almost 11 full work days for the HR department. That in the time, if we take like 500 queries for 10 minutes each. Crazy, isn't it? Let's look at the external chatbot, knowledge bot. Sales B2C assistant. So as soon as I always I don't know how you guys, but as soon as I see B2C, it's all risks are multiple, skyrocketing. it's not even, B2B, it's much harder than internal. Still, it works pretty cool. Let's take a look. E-commerce company works through the Instagram, Telegram channels. Their process was like they hired 10, 20, X amount of people who were chatting with the potential customers in Instagram, Telegram, answering the questions, like collecting the initial problems or needs, supporting them, the customers, potential customers, with the information about the products and selling, upselling, collecting the data about where to deliver, sending the things like, hey, this is where you have to pay, mitigating potential questions around oh, is it good, is it bad, what things, etc. So after the implementation of the knowledge bot that has in knowledge bot has the knowledge, the information about the products, detailed information about the components of these products, information about use case scenario for each of the product, detailed scripts of the sales processes. So afterwards, this knowledge bot able to handle end-to-end sales process from the first, hi, I want to buy shampoo, or I want to buy, I don't know, noodle soup, to the final action when the customer receives the link for the payment in the Instagram itself, and the information for the delivery address collected and being stored in the Airtable or other CRM. It doesn't matter in this scenario. So the knowledge bot can handle also the external knowledge processes. You can imagine it as the, I don't know, hospital that has constantly problems with the people who are trying, like private hospital, when you're trying within WhatsApp, to sign up for visit some doctor, or I don't know, legal companies when people are not prepared for the visit itself, and they are spending time on the phone oh, this is my problem, what I need to bring, etc., etc. So basically speaking, knowledge bots is something that can be implemented at any type of the business, from the internal perspective into external perspective. They can handle tasks beyond the communication with the customer, like scheduling the appointments, helping with the preparation, collecting the metadata like delivery address and storing it to the CRM, etc., etc. It can help you and your business grow skyrocketing fast. And this is all from my part. Thank you very much. I hope it was useful for all you who is watching now or later. And feel free to reach out to me. I will be happy to talk about how you can start benefit with the AI today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dima.
All right, thanks for that. Yeah. Veronica, can you take us forward from here?
Yeah, so after all that talk, all the great knowledge and the benefits, you are probably thinking this must cost a fortune or it must take forever to be built, and I don't have the people to do it actually in my company. And yeah, this is all confusing. We get it. So we take it to the next level. We in our environment with Omdena, it costs around 50 to 80% less than traditional development because we have so much experience and we have the community. So it's a completely different way of doing things. So we really do it also faster, around 5 times faster. So it's also easy to use, and we do also a lot of upskilling programs. So if you do want to not outsource it 100%, but you want your employees also to get a bit of a taste and be able to handle things sometimes themselves with AI, we also can do that for you. And yeah, it's now the time for you to think. Maybe you have some questions, and we are here. If yeah, anything pops up, let us know.
Awesome. Thanks, Veronica. Thanks, Dimitro. As Veronica said, we are now open for questions. So if you have any questions about knowledge management in general or custom LLM, GPT, everything we've spoken about today, you can go ahead and drop those questions to us and we will pick them up and answer them. As you guys do that, let me go through some of the answers, so some of the questions that we've already received before we kicked off the workshop. And one of them was a technical one for Dimitra. So the question is, can you provide specific examples of a project where you implemented the RAG technique and the initial knowledge pre-processing steps?
So thank you for this question. The two examples, the use cases that I've talked previously, in each of them, RAG and knowledge base were prepared and implemented. For the what is here important is that by investing the time to prepare, to transform your knowledge dump to knowledge garden, you are securing yourself and your company the much of the efforts for the implementation of the AI, and like you can benefit it multiple ways. So basically speaking, there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind when creating your knowledge garden. Is all the knowledge should be owned by someone, maintained. You cannot just create something and let it hang out in the Confluence and hoping that it can help someone in a couple of years. It's not working. Second, related to the first one, don't forget about the tags. If like, I'm the big fan of Obsidian as an example, and you know, it's sometimes I skip the process of the adding tags straight away, and later on I still, you know, push myself to just put these 3 or like 5 keywords that will help future Dima to find the exact piece of knowledge that I'm looking for. Moreover, by connecting, you know, your knowledge, even like Obsidian, Confluence, whatever, with the tags itself, it helps you much easier to find for AI to understand what type of knowledge is relevant for the current query or not. Also for handling, if like, I will be quick, sorry. There is the cool stuff that calls graph RAG. Why is it cool? Because if you have like lots of the knowledge, like 5K, 10K documents, etc. The one thing is that it's very hard to, when you're doing the RAG, you extract chunks of the information. Chunks of information, you can imagine it as the A4 document list that is like splitted with these kissers in the multiple pieces, and you just place it in the one big bag. And when someone is like giving the query, the cooler IG has to, with the approximate nearest neighbors, like with the magnet on the hand, understand which numbers to extract from this bag, and then take it as the baseline for the future answer. So with the graph RG, you enable this, you connect each of the pieces of the paper with the chains, let's say. So when you extract just one, you already will have the connection points with the other relevant knowledge that very helpful for the managing with the big databases. I hope it answers the question.
Thanks for that, Dima. The next question is, what level of compatibility is there between custom LLMs and my existing CRM provider?
Do I understand the question correctly? That like in simply words, which
I guess
LLM?
they're asking if they have already a CRM where all their data is stored. Is that compatible with taking all of that data from there and putting it into a custom LLM?
Yeah, great question. Great question. For sure. In short, in long version, how to make it happen. So first of all, you need to understand how your data is structured, then to build API, then to teach, let's say, your LLM or RAG to talk with this CRM with the API. Or you can have the embedding itself, vectorization of the CRM system. So you extract the CRM system as the couple of the databases. Then you embed these databases in the vector database, and then you talk with the, you have like two connections. One is the LLM that talks with the current vector database. Other is the LLM that constantly listening to the updates in your CRM or whatever system, and then updates the vector database itself. Hope it answers. So TLDR, you don't, this is not the question around the LLM, but more about the technical backend.
Thanks for that, Dmitro. Next is, how do you make sure that your data is secure in a custom LLM and not accessed by anyone else?
Very simple. Custom LLM is being stored. It can be stored. It should be stored. Yeah, on the server, on your internal server, or the server that you are renting. So basically speaking, there is no big difference between the custom LLM or other piece of software that you are having on your servers. The additional security level that should be taken into consideration with LLMs is that with the great prompt engineering, you always can inject some prompts that will help external red team people, hackers or whatever, to get the knowledge. So in the best case scenario, do not make your external LLM fed by the sensitive data if you don't want it to be accessed by someone else. If you're using it for the internal purposes, then it's easy, because anyway you will see that you're collecting the logs, and if there is some log that show that is visibly seen as the prompt injection technique or something like this, you can raise the red flag, and you will have the information about this particular user with the ID that is trying to do the illegal activities. Hope this answers.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, Dina. I think this is the last question we'll take, but it's basically asking, can you set access levels for different, can you have access levels in a custom LLM for what data a certain user can access?
Sure. Super easy. It's like you're doing the initial routing with the users, the centering, and you are not like you can let the user to access the data after the security gates. Like, as an example, if let's imagine that you are the insurance company, you have different customers from different your insurance, how it calls, boutique that works with the different insurance company, and your customers have different even security companies or insurance companies. So you can create the initial layer that will verify by checking their ID or metadata. You can already input into the prompt that they are referring to your custom LLM. You can input the access key that will open the door that they should access, that they can access, and this key will not open the other doors. So if I'm the customer of, I don't know, AXA, I will not have the information about other security or insurance companies.
So, thanks a lot, Dima. I think that's all the questions we have. To Veronica as well for your great presentation on why knowledge management is such the need of the hour. I hope the insights that we've shared today are valuable. I hope that the best case scenario, what we've shared today, makes you set out to implement something similar in your organization, and or at least explore the possibility and see where it goes. If you want to do that, of course, you can reach out to Dima and us for assistance on that, for more details on what an implementation would look like, how much would it cost, stuff like that. Any queries that you may have about, AI implementations and knowledge management, or AI implementations in general, you can reach out to us. We have our emails on your screen. And yeah, or you can visit our website, omdena.com, for more resources on AI. We are publishing regular blogs with tutorials. We're publishing success stories of AI implementations we've recently done. So you can stay tuned to that. You can follow our socials, and definitely follow Dima on LinkedIn as well for all the insights that he shares on a regular basis there. So yeah, that brings us to the end of our time. Thank you very much, Dima, Veronica. You have the floor if you need it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for this workshop. It was very, very interesting, and receiving these questions were very interesting to help to understand what is, what bothers you from the other side of the screen. And thank you for the interesting information that you shared, Veronica, around, I haven't been thinking about how much really time, we're spending for such tasks. So thank you for having me here, and have a wonderful evening and day.